What's going on, y'all? Brother Shay here, Restoration Embassy Ambassadors for Christ, New Orleans Revival Center. We're just here to add another addition to our Christian apologetics series. And today we're going to be talking about David. Was he blessed or broken? See, a lot of people point to King David and say, see, he committed adultery and murder, yet God still blessed him. That's favoritism. That's hypocrisy. But that's not what the Bible teaches at all. If you really read the story, David didn't get away with anything. He faced severe, lifelong consequences. Yes, David sinned terribly. His fall with Bathsheba was not a small mistake. It was adultery, deceit, and ultimately murder. God didn't overlook it. God didn't excuse it. And David didn't hide from it. Psalm 51 shows a man shattered by his own failure, begging for mercy, not defending himself like some of us do. God sent Nathan, publicly confronting David. In 2 Samuel 12, the prophet Nathan exposed David's sin. This wasn't private. This wasn't quiet. This was accountability directly from God himself. And David immediately confessed, I have sinned against the Lord. Then came the consequences, deep, painful, and long-lasting. The child born to Bathsheba died. David's own household erupted in violence. God said, the sword shall never depart from your household. His own son violated his own daughter. And Absalom murdered Amnon, 2 sons. Absalom also revolted against David, publicly humiliating him. David fled his kingdom in tears, barefoot, and betrayed by friends. 4 sons died as a result of consequences tied to David's sin. David suffered more family trauma, heartbreak, and instability more than any other character in the scriptures. This is not the story of a man who sinned and was blessed anyway. This is the story of a man who sinned, repented, and lived through consequences that broke him. So why did God still use David? It wasn't because he was perfect, and it wasn't because God approved of his sin. It's because David repented deeply, not superficially. He never turned to idols or walked away from God, and his heart stayed surrendered to God, even in discipline. God made a covenant, and God keeps his word, even when people fail. Thank God for that. The blessing wasn't a reward for sin. It was grace after repentance. The blessing that followed wasn't a free pass. It was mercy. It was restoration. It was God showing his character, not David's perfection. David's story is not an example of sin and still be blessed, but David's story is a warning that sin has consequences that can shake your whole household. It's also a reminder that God can still redeem a broken life through repentance, thankfully for us. Grace doesn't erase consequences. But consequences don't erase God's grace either.